The life force of your bond. A power like life itself. Unseen for generations. A dyad in the force.
Hi. Welcome to another episode of DYAD in the Force, episode 201. The first
Episode
of the 201.
Was funny is like after eating all that spicy ramen, I was craving more spicy ramen. It was delicious. Also, X-Core in the chat. I couldn't hear me because we were on the starting soon screen, but just wanted to say, hey, haven't seen you for a while, haven't gotten to talk. I hope everything's going well for you and your family. Yeah, just good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, I realized that YT and TW wasn't hearing the pre-show audio, so shout out to
I said
Nemo.
a bunch of stuff to you, but the scene wasn't on, so it was.
Shout out to Nemo in the chat who says Ohio, to which I said Ichi ni kiki.
Which is actually not accurate because what Nemo says more often than not is again.
Again. Which have you seen my video on the blast arrows?
I just watched it, but I didn't hear the audio.
See, the thing is, like, I was watching Karkyu's coverage on the season 1 balance updates. He's like, who uses blast arrows? Nobody uses blast arrows. I'm like, I kind of do, and there's some value in it, but yeah. Shout out to Marianne. Marianne, you're gonna be joining us here in a second. If you want to talk Skeleton Cruise and Proctor, your real fans, for episode 7. Shout out to Phineas McCormick. Yo, good evening, y'all. Hey, dudes, I called off because I didn't want to trek through Hoth today. Oh, spooky kitty. Whereas the sky is on fire for us. Or is the sky snow for you?
The sky is burning. Love me some thrice.
I queued into comp at 3 a.m. when it dropped. I hate ranked players. Went like 35-10 twice and lost all 3 games. Because people refuse to play on the point. It's the quick play tactics going into comp. You can't do that.
Yeah, so sorry everyone for the Marvel Rivals talk. We might just have to have a Marvel Rivals segment or maybe a separate podcast. But
I'll go by here, Rainbow.
Yeah, it's
Oh, hey.
hello, Mari.
Oh.
She was not saying hi to us.
Sorry. Sorry, I didn't hear you. I just now heard you.
Who do we hear?
My niece and nephew. Hold on. Hey. Shh, please.
What?
No, Evelyn. Shh. Thank you. Okay, sorry.
All good. Choco, continue.
Now, okay, I have a quick question. Your sister is also a geek, right?
She is.
Okay.
Why?
Evelyn, considering your guys' age group, the Mummy. Was she
No,
named after...
she just really liked the name Evelyn.
Okay.
She just really liked the name Evelyn.
How's my baby girl doing?
But I mean, that would. My sister? She's great. She's at work right now.
Choco, wiggle some cables. When I go outside, everything is covered in ash. Yes. I feel for you, dude. Not so much covered in ash, but when I go outside, the sky is red and ash falls onto my car, and I'm waiting. I have it all planned out. I'm waiting to get my car washed, but I can't right now because as soon as I exit, it's gonna get ashed on again.
Right before jumping on the live, I took a shower, but didn't have time to like lotion up. So when I look down, I see ash as well. It's a different kind. Nemo knows.
Yeah. You gotta get that butter.
Get that cocoa butter going.
Yeah. I have some here. It's called hustle butter.
Hustle butter. Damn. That sounds like lube. I'm just gonna say it. Anyways, can I go? Let's see here.
Kenny says, hello there, everyone, and I take that ageist comment hard, Choco. Thank you. Kenny, I think you're still younger than me. How old were you, Kenny? I'm pretty sure I am the oldest. Except for X-Core. I know X-Core has got some years on me.
It's not ageist. It's like a definer. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like when you ask someone to finish the lyric, and the lyric is "Wake me up."
Inside.
See, depending.
Oh,
on,
I went to Evanescence.
So depending on your age, it's "Wake me up before you go," or but us emo kids, it's can't
It's
wake you up.
Evanescence. Exactly.
Kenny says, no, I turned 39 in February. I'm already 39, so you are younger than me. Don't say no. Master James Kenobi, shout out to Talon Card. I gotcha. How are you, Marianne?
I'm alright. How are you?
Before.
When September ends.
Oh, Spooky said before. Man. I'm older than both y'all, and it's wake me up inside. I mean, yeah, it is to me.
No, it's not turned all the way back.
Wait, your date of birth is 85. Correct. And August has passed. Thusly, I'm 39.
Summer has come to pass. Yeah, sorry.
You know, I recently had like a kind of like a renaissance of Nickelback
Ooh, I flipped the wrong thing.
because of Rivals. There's so many alt
Hero?
rescues that are using Hero.
Yeah.
And I say that.
Oh, you guys will be happy to know I did download Marvel Rivals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And have you joined?
I haven't
the
opened
Calzone?
it yet, so
Okay.
Open it.
no. I haven't even opened it. I haven't even gotten into it yet. I haven't gotten into the game yet. Like, it's just sitting here on my computer, downloaded.
Yeah, open it.
Kenneth says,
I'm a little scared
in my
too.
Paramore era again. Don't know why. Just love that music. Ain't it fun?
Paramore's
Ain't it
good.
fun?
Mhm.
Living. Listen, I don't mean to brag, and I don't mean to come off as like a hipster, but I listened to them way back on Pure Volume when they were still recording on their garage. And like the Farrow brothers were like 15.
Yeah.
That's a bit hipster. I have the exact opposite
Yeah, you're hipster. You're
experience
hipster.
where I didn't find out about them until years and years later, which is funny because I used to scour Pure Volume looking for music.
That was the place, man. You would go on Pure Volume and you would look for all of the band names that had weekdays in it.
Is that always?
You know, just like Tuesday Never Happens. Awesome. That's probably a great band. Or Wednesday Circles Back to Friday.
I mean, my hipster thing was I did get into both Taking Back Sunday and Brand New well before they ever released anything officially. So even before Tell All Your Friends, I'd already seen Taking Back Sunday. And only old school people know this quote. A beautiful girl can make you dizzy, like you've been drinking Jack and Coke all morning. they had a random song that just started out. It started out with just like a monologue of like a random guy from New Jersey, and then it went into the song. And yeah, we always laugh about that.
And only a select few people know that Anthony Green was in Seosin before Circus Survive.
Yeah, I saw Circus Survive also before their first album. They were playing with my favorite band at the time, Dredge, and I couldn't remember what their name was, but I only knew him from he had another project called High and Driving, and that's where I knew Anthony Green from.
Wow.
So you're both hipsters. Well done. I love that.
In the emos, you know.
How about you? I mean, you are a music beautiful person. What do you have? Any reference? Anything that really sets you in a specific time?
So growing up, Backstreet Boys was my jam. Like, I still have the songs memorized from Backstreet Boys.
Inconsolable.
Evanescence.
Yeah.
That was like the stuff that I grew up with. Spice Girls. But like my music tastes are like, I feel like it's really varied as well, because I've got a lot of like hip hop and rap. Like right now, I love Megan Thee Stallion. Like I love her.
Honestly, one of the most beautiful creatures on the earth. Like,
dude, she's gorgeous.
Like objectively, like,
oh,
it's weird because it's both.
She's beautiful.
I don't even know how to describe it, because it's like, yes, she's hot for like a woman, but also like I want to paint her. You know what I mean? Like, like it's, I don't even.
Yeah.
Choco's in his Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic era.
Psycho Shinobi, me and you, buddy, because like Thrice is my favorite band. In fact, they used to all live in Southern California, and so like the guitarist came to the gym that I worked at, and they would play live shows at, or at least Dustin would play like live acoustic sets at Irvine Spectrum randomly. It was awesome. And then
Coca as well.
And then Coed and Cambrian and Thursday, of course. Yeah, some of my favorites.
Those were I think that was the trinity for me back in then. Thrice, Coca, and Soko.
But at the same time, I did listen to, I was still listening to all my hip hop stuff, and I've just had a very eclectic taste, because on one side, my mom's favorite band of all time is Aerosmith, and that's what we listen to with her. And then my dad is a musician for forever, with like Motown funk stuff. My dad's grew up as a bassist. And then on that side, it was like Boyz II Men and all that. So Boyz II Men, Babyface was kind of his jam. So yeah, I grew up all over the place.
Shout out to the spider guy. It's Nick Knock from TikTok. Hey.
Yes, that's my friend Nick.
Seen a lot more people on the YTs. Appreciate you guys following us. I don't know where TikTok's going, but I still might not use it when Kevin O'Leary if Kevin O'Leary buys it, because then it's just
Is that what they're talking about? Okay.
Yeah. There's Frank O'Court and Kevin O'Leary has secured investors and the go-ahead from the White House. Question is whether or not they're going to sell it.
I don't know. He said he was not going to sell if they all upheld the ban, so...
Let's see here. KG says, I have a similar story with Linkin Park. Saw them at Tiny Bar right before they released One Step Closer. I was right at the stage in front of Chester. His sweat kept dripping on me. Speaking of which, the new
Bert from the
Linkin Park-
U's jumped on my head once. It hurt.
Speaking of which, the new Linkin Park with Emily is so good.
It is really good.
What do you think that is?
So good.
I don't know.
That being said, I don't so much. I'm not in love with her singing their old stuff, but the new stuff is to me as good as the old stuff.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, I enjoy the Emptiness Machine more than them singing the old stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, on that note, something I always see, pisses me off every time in the comment sections is they should have started a new band. What do you say to that? What do you think about that?
no, I think they're still the same musically and kind of identity, right? I don't think that it would have served them to create a new band because they're still, the only person they're missing is Chester.
Exactly, and like, I always come back into saying, and I apologize, we'll get to Star Wars very soon.
I mean, this is a segment where we just kind of chill,
But it's like, tell me you've never been in a band without telling me you've never been in a band. Because like a band is a thing. It's a vibe and it's a unit. It's a method, right? It's not the members. You can replace members of a band. Members get replaced all the time. The sound of a band changes over time. That's not new as well. Who was it? I think it was like Chiodos changed in their sound, not because of a lead singer change, but because they got the drummer from Scary Kids Scaring Kids involved. That was actually the bigger difference.
Okay, I'm done.
And I don't know. It just makes me want to strangle people because obviously Fort Minor is a different project and it makes sense because it has a different vibe. He uses a different process. But if he is saying when they get into the lab, when they are jamming, when they're writing music, when they're going to do the process, she feels like she's always fit. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. It's the same thing with the Incubus too. When Dirk Lance left, it's like
No, my screen's on white.
they're still Incubus.
Yeah.
An arm.
Lead singer is not the band.
An arm.
Have you guys heard of the band Toto?
No.
Of course.
So, did you know
the
John
lead singer
Williams?
is not the band?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Go search up the date.
No, Dirk Lance was the bassist.
Yeah, I know. But
Oh,
yeah,
you're talking
yeah.
about Chester?
I'm talking about in general, people typically think the lead singer is the band, but I know Brandon Boyd is the lead singer of Incubus.
Wait, what did it say?
LP with the singer from Dead Sarah? Yes.
But what were you gonna say, Mari? Sorry to cut you off.
It's okay because you guys are talking about lead singers changing. So Toto, I think went through 2 or 3 lead singers, and one of them was John Williams' son.
Oh, that's right.
Is that the
Yeah.
band that did Africa?
Yeah, I bless
Yeah.
the rains down in Africa. Love that song.
Toto is also what we had last night for dinner.
Pink Floyd is another good example that the singer isn't the band.
I mean, the current lead singer of Journey is a Filipino guy.
Mm-hmm.
Starfall.
And the Philippines is proud of him.
Listen, Filipinos can sing. They have this quality. I don't know.
But Filipinos can also vote. They're they show up so hard for people. Like Sophia and Cat's Eye just led the vote throughout the show by like millions, and that's because like the entire country got bounty hunter. I love music talk, by the way. We can do this as long as you want. Hey, it's our show. We can do it. Yeah, why not? But I'm adding everyone now on other stuff just in case. Right on, Nick.
Yeah, please add us. You know, it's really helpful. It makes the future kind of shaky with things. We've spent so much time and effort, and like, I mean, I know we're on YouTube right now, but TikTok is such a special platform, and it's just different than the others. Like, it's not just short videos, and it's hard to explain. The level of connections, the quality of the algorithm, and above all, TikTok feels like it has the shortest distance between the creators and the audience of any of the platforms, and I think that's truly what makes it special.
Oh yeah. The other thing that makes it special is if you guys know Munchos.
What?
Munchos.
Oh. Talking about food. Oh, okay, no.
It's S tier chips.
Chips.
I've
I've never heard of them.
Yes.
I do have a question for Mari.
Mm-hmm.
I know we can't really see on the stream, but I see a stack of books. I see episode 1. I see Dawn of the Jedi. I see Thrawn from a certain point of view. Leia Bloodlines, Dooku Jedi Lost, and Shadow of the Sith. What are you reading right now? And of this stack, what's your favorite? Also, on the top, is that manga?
I forgot you can't see us. That's why.
Yeah, no, now I can see you. Hello. No, not manga. This is. I have. First of all, I have friendship bracelet stuff.
Oh,
Now
those
that you
are
can see
books.
us. This is what I was showing.
But these are much. Okay. I don't know. But here are the books. Here are the books. I'm not reading any of these right now. Like, I had started Thrawn. Like, as you can see, I started it. But I'm struggling a little with Thrawn, not because it's like a boring story or anything like that. Timothy Zahn, it has like a specific kind of writing.
He's verbose.
It's like, it's not technical, but he's very. I struggle with it, which is funny because like Timothy Zahn was the first Star Wars author I've read. It was the Heir to the Empire series.
Yeah, it's pretty technical though when it comes to like space battles and stuff like that.
Which I found out he was like he's like a physics teacher or something like that. So that's why like he gets into like how space works and stuff like that. But
if I made a word cloud of his books, just in the middle in big giant words, it would say salvo. And it would say winglets.
I can't, like, I read Heir to the Empire when I was really young, and I cannot believe that I made it through those books. I'll be real with you. But I'm not.
Same with me and the Silmarillion.
I'm trying to, like, oh my god. Let's see. I haven't actually read this, like, the novelization for episode 1. I haven't read that one yet. This one is one of my favorite Legends books. I actually really enjoyed this book, which is why I'm really excited about the movie that they're supposed to be making, that like of the same title, supposedly. I'm really hoping.
Yeah, I mean, we're still in the news section. So yeah, there was some further information. James Mangold got interviewed and talked a little bit about his Star Wars project, that it's 25,000 years before the Star Wars franchise, and that he really just wanted to be able to tell a story and not be handcuffed by so much lore, because you can't please anyone that way.
Which I love. Like that, I love that they're expanding the universe. They're expanding Star Wars and adding more lore, and I wish more people would get on board with that. But no, we got to stick to the Skywalkers. Like, come on, guys.
Well, I'm just saying the irony of his statement is that he's going to be establishing a lot because he's touching the very beginning.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to worry about what is where and like what was this done. There's less of stuff. He kind of has fresh snow to play in. And so that's definitely cool for him. And I definitely I agree with him. I feel like
This is mine.
honestly I feel like most Star Wars fans and most fans in general, be it Star Wars, Marvel, whatever, don't know what they want. They don't know that the thing that they think they want, they don't actually want. And if we keep making the same stuff over and over again, we end up just cannibalizing the series. I cringe so hard when people are like, we just need live action Clone Wars. I'm like, we have so much Clone Wars. That we need to tell more stories. Once upon a time, Clone Wars was a brand new story, and people didn't consider that Star Wars because it was new. No, I just want to see Han Solo running around, And you have to understand, we need to continually update, tell fresh stories, and get new people in. Otherwise, the franchise dies.
It gets very stale. And just like people were mad at Liam Neeson for saying that he felt like there was too much Star Wars right now, but part of me wonders if it's more like we're focusing on one era of Star Wars too much and we need to
Yes,
go beyond.
That's what the oversaturation is when it's too samey. Then it gets to be too much. But if we can tell a bunch of different types of stories and the same universe, then it's fresh. We can get a lot more. And as someone who loves the books, specifically, the books are all different. There's so much variance in the style of writing and the characters and what they do, that it's incredible. And that's what we need. That diversity is what we need to see.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week. I kind of got on a soapbox and I was like, if you're not reading all, the new canon expanded universe, you're gonna go the next 20 years and still being and still citing books from the 80s of the last century, and it's just read the books. Just get in on the ground level, man. I mean, there's a lot now, but
yeah, the High Republic was was like a breath of fresh air. I love the High Republic books, and I love when they put it in Jedi Survivor, and then we got the Acolyte. It's just a breath of fresh air because it's a whole new era, and the Skywalkers aren't there to muck things up. Somebody else is mucking them up. So.
Yeah, and the consequence of this saturation is that it makes people think that Star Wars is Anakin. Star Wars isn't Anakin. Star Wars isn't the Skywalkers. That's just one story. But because of the amount of stories we have around that saga, that's all Star Wars purportedly is for some people.
Yeah, hot take. There's some people who are. They're Star Wars fans. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not trying to gatekeep here, but what they actually are Clone Wars fans. And so whenever they are reviewing, critiquing, or suggesting any new content, it's just how close is this to Clone Wars? How many characters from Clone Wars are in this? And that's a problem. And that's one of my complaints about the Ahsoka series, and that's also how I feel largely about The Mandalorian season 3. Is a lot of it is continuing threads started in other shows versus something like Skeleton Crew, where anyone can get on board. You can hop. This is honestly one of the greatest places. If you're a parent and you have kids, show them this, and they'll show them this, show them Young Jedi Adventures to get them to love Star Wars, and they'll be set for life. This is a fantastic entry point.
On the flip side of this conversation, though, we do have a lot of diverse stories.
Yes.
And a lot of the responsibility falls largely on the consumer or the viewer to recognize that Star Wars is more than just Anakin, right? Because we see it all the time. Some people's main character for the Skywalker saga is Anakin because they started in the prequels. Some people's main character is Luke because they started on the originals. Some people's main character is Rey because they started on the sequels. Some people's main character is Mando, Din Djarin. Some people's main character is Andor. And if you read the books, some people's main character is Avar Kriss, Stellan Gios, Elzar Mann, Vernestra Rowe, any number of those characters. And it's because those people refuse to expand their horizons that they remain entirely in the grasp of Anakin. So yes, we do have to have more stories that are outside of the Skywalker saga, but at the same time, we have a lot of stories outside of the Skywalker saga that people just are not consuming.
The one in the purple crate.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Anakin, I've come to terms with my feelings on Anakin because they've always been complicated. He reminds me a lot of my sister. But I felt myself starting to dislike Anakin, and I realize why.
Done.
Anakin is not an incel. People keep putting on him incel goggles to justify their own actions and feelings, and it's just not the character, and that's what kills me. That's what makes me mad. You know, when people like, well, some people they'll blame Padme for his fall, and you're like, I will come through this phone.
Oh, me too.
You know,
me too. I'm right behind you.
And I realized that's actually been my problem with the character. So like if you unironically use the word woke, and if you unironically say DEI often, you probably don't get Anakin, and I don't want to talk to you about Star Wars.
Yeah. I just need people to be a little bit more diverse in their in just their desires and wants for Star Wars, because some people it's all about Anakin, to others it's all about lightsabers, and then to others it's all about Jedi and Sith, you know, and we can't even tell stories outside of them.
I still maintain that my idea is the best, because I came up with it. But my idea is that Lucasfilm create more CGI shorts of lightsaber duels, but bring them and space battles and stuff like that, but bring them from canon novels. So like when you watch the Deceived shorts and they're taking the Jedi Temple, and it's badass and has millions and millions of views, and there's all these weird kids, you're like, this is a better story than the sequels, even though they don't even know what the damn story is happening is. But they can do that, provide just that entertaining piece, but it links back to a greater story. And if you want that story, it's available, but just animate certain parts to it. I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Get more people involved in the narrative of what they're seeing rather than in the seeing of what the narrative isn't. Sorry, I was trying to create like a juxtaposition there. I always hate it when people are like when they point to Satele Shan as a strong woman and they don't know who she is. Or like we've seen in the last 4 years. If you don't know who Revan is, you don't.
Speaking of those two, there actually is a rumor that they are in the works of creating an Old Republic project. What do you guys think of that?
I'm on
I
board.
saw that. I think, yeah. Look, I don't know a lot about Revan. I can't play KOTOR. I tried. I really did. I need to watch
That's okay.
a run
Hasn't
through.
aged
I need
well.
to. I had
Listen,
gotten to
it's a bad
Dathomir.
game.
The mechanics drive me nuts. I got to Dathomir and then my laptop crashed and I tried again on my Switch, but I can't do this. I need to watch a run through. So I don't know a lot about Revan. Now, I have played Star Wars: The Old Republic, so with Satele Shan, all that. So yeah, I would be down for something like that because that is a lot of fun. But that rumor, I'm like taking with a grain of salt.
Definitely take it with a grain of salt. Also, the rumor is that they are not trying to redo KOTOR the game, but they would be telling a story in that time period. And also I do want to clarify, Knights of the Old Republic, it's an amazing story. It's an amazing adventure. It's a terrible game. It does not work now. That's why we really do need a remaster of it. Because they were just kind of playing around when they came up with that game engine. I just want them to get Drew Karpyshyn aboard. Not to write it specifically, but to be a consultant to get his ideas. So Xcore says it's not a bad game. It just hasn't aged very well. I feel like it was the Wild West when that game came out, and it came out, and I played it when it came out, so I can play it now and I enjoy it. It's just not a game I feel like I can recommend to people now because of how it's made and the advancements in gaming and all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it is the HD DVD of games when we're all on Blu-ray. Yeah, does that make any sense? It's an amazing adventure. I think it's a bad game.
Let me try this. KOTOR is Android, and Baldur's Gate 3 was Apple. What I mean by that is KOTOR was trying to do what Baldur's Gate did without Baldur's Gate 3's technology. They were trying to do things with roles. They were trying to do things with stats and D&D, the turn-based system. But when you play Baldur's Gate 3, it's all of the same mechanical systems, but polished and perfected in a way that doesn't get in the way of the player, the way that KOTOR did.
It's translated. So KOTOR is a direct engine based off of the tabletop game. It is directly, but like, you need to translate this to a different medium to make sure it works within that medium better.
Yep. I would love
so give
Blue
Larian
Eagle.
Studios Star Wars. Oh my
love it.
god, I would
absolutely love it.
I want to make an obscene joke here, but I feel uncomfortable with Mari.
Thanks,
Mari,
I
you
guess.
played Baldur's Gate 3?
No, I have not played Baldur's Gate 3.
Have you seen videos on it and stuff?
Oh yeah. I'm very well aware of Asterion, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
That dude. Very
The
well
Vampire
aware.
Twink, yeah.
Yeah, him. But isn't it supposed to be like D&D kinda?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
some
it is.
yeah,
It is D&D. It's that is the universe it exists in.
It's just like I've seen like clips of like game like playthroughs, like some people like playing through it, and it's not. I struggle with D&D, so it's not something that I'm like really interested in, but also at the same time it kind of sort of reminded me of Star Wars: The Old Republic, where it, like, a lot of times you choose like the dialogue and it'll change the story up a little bit, like, if you choose this dialogue it'll go in this direction, or if you choose this dialogue go in that direction. So but
Well, that's not something that's
Mari,
particular to D&D.
I will say this. It is not a type of game that I am interested in. But that game changed my life. So if you were going to give a game a chance, I would I would give it a chance, even if it's not the style you're used to playing, you're used to enjoying. It's so well done that it transcends everything else.
Yeah.
You guys keep influencing me to get different video games.
Well, here's the thing.
I bought a copy of it for Cal when I played it because I was like, this is I don't even know. Like after playing it, I was like, if it's not on an all-time great video game list, then the list is sus. That's how good it is quality wise. But if you don't want to, don't get it. I'm just saying, don't let it not being the genre you love make you stray away from it, because I think it is good enough to jump that fence.
I'll look into it.
I will say this.
Literally, other studios' game devs went on Twitter and they were like, "Don't expect this from us, man." I don't know how they did it. Don't expect this from us. That's how good it was.
I'll say this. You say that D&D is not something that you are particularly interested in, but Baldur's Gate 3 takes D&D's systems and it really does just kind of flip the script on how it surfaces it to the player. Because you're not really doing much of D&D. The game is doing a lot of it for you. If you need to do like a roll check, it just has a dice on screen and it shows you the consequences of what you rolled. And in terms of combat, it doesn't really do any. You don't roll anything. It's just using that in the back end. So it does come off as a turn-based combat action adventure game, and it's not really you just sitting there rolling for everything. Like consequential stuff, you'll roll for, but like it's pretty streamlined the way they did it.
Yeah. Rody Rob 37 asks, "Can I join? I'd love to talk to y'all." That's something that we do accept call-ins if Pat so.
Yeah, actually, if you would have to
But
go
you do
on
need to come over to the play button side. So you can't join via the app you're currently on, Rudy.
Yeah. You'd have to come over to YT. And then there would be a link on the YT side for you to call in. Let's see here. Apparently they were split between Baldur's Gate, some other IP, and Fallout, and Baldur's Gate stuck. I mean, yeah, Baldur's Gate. Of course it's going to stick. I just came to the hilarious realization that Choco has the same haircut as Pablo Sanchez character from those backyard sports games back in the day. I wouldn't be able to. Craig, man, you got some weird ass call outs. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know who Pablo Sanchez is, but he sounds sexy. That's all I'll say.
I don't D&D either, but it walks you through it. Yeah, I mean, it really is. The game is just doing all the D&D for you. You're just kind of controlling the characters and fighting. Let's see here. Also, the perception of what Revan is as a character is heavily misconstrued on the internet. Absolutely. If someone is talking to you about Revan and they start with Darth Revan, all they know is what they've watched on video. Because Revan is infinitely more famous and infinitely more interesting as Jedi Knight.
What one of the things that has messed up my brain as far as content creation is coming to the realization of how people like us, if you lack journalistic integrity, how much stuff you can ruin. Like, because we're not journalists. We don't have the same code of ethics or anything like that. But I can tell you that myself and Element 7 do personally enforced. We'll fact check. We'll make sure we get sources and all this stuff. There's so many people who their thoughts and feelings on Revan come from content creators who don't know what they're talking about. They didn't actually play the game. They read a synopsis somewhere, took what they wanted from it, and made an entertaining video. And because the video was entertaining, a lot of people watched it. And now that's those people's perception of things, their perception of Star Wars in general. And a lot of it is bad, wrong, and terrible. But and then we have to deal with, well, Disney's getting this wrong. And you're like, this story group that put this together was the same people that worked directly with George Lucas, and they are getting it right, you know?
Yeah. Perceptions on Darth Nihilus. You'll hear a lot of people say he eats planets, but he force drained one planet.
Oh, that's the story. I literally thought he ate planets. Okay, good to know.
Nihilus was the weakest Sith in his only game.
Yeah.
And then I'll have people go,
about him.
well, in the books and comics, he was way more powerful. And so I'll ask them, what books and comics?
he's only in one short.
He's in one short
side comic,
and it's not even about him. It's one of his students talking about him.
So the entire story is Nihilus's physical form and spiritual form were shattered by a mass shadow generator and became a wound. So he eternally hungered for more of the Force. So one of the comics, I think it was Tales 29 or something, 28. Vices Mar talks about how everybody on her planet, was it Qatar? Oh, that's actually a country.
I can't remember the planet.
Her planet was drained of all of life, and she alone survived. And then there was Nihilus above her, standing there. That's the only planet he's ever drained, and that's because nobody expected it.
And that's literally the only story he's in. Besides the game, that's his only story.
And then after that, you beat him.
Okay. So people just took that story and ran with it. Okay, I gotcha.
They kind of did
makes
like the
sense.
whole like Galactus type of analog things. Like, oh, he eats planets like Galactus. It's like, no, nobody eats planets in Star Wars.
Yeah.
A web of worlds, according to the guide. We should refer to false perceptions of Darth Nihilus as denialist. Denialist. So we can tell people that Denialist is the galaxy's equivalent to a river in Egypt. Is this similar to what Valkorion casually did in Sator? I don't know what you mean by casually, but are you talking about the ritual of Nathema?
Yeah. So it's the same, but it's different. So basically, he could brain blast people and just control your mind, which, by the way, is what happened to Revan, which is why I actually don't really like Darth Revan, because that wasn't even him. And they remove all of his agency in that. By the way, almost everything we know from Revan, truthfully, comes from KOTOR 2, where you don't play as Revan, but you hear about his exploits from other people. And he was a Sith Lord for like a year, maybe 2 years. We should go to lore. It's weird.
Since we're talking about this stuff.
Oh. But again, this. Yeah, it's weird.
My hubs, who isn't into lore or Star Wars anymore, told me Nihilus ate actual planets too, but he also believed Ben and Rey are related because of old palps.
So yeah, your hubs probably also thinks that Palpatine created Anakin, which he didn't. Again, people saw one panel, and then they created a whole bunch of videos because they're content creators first.
And didn't the storyteller come out and say, "Guys, you got this wrong"? Like, didn't the actual
Yes.
person who wrote that come out and say, "You guys got it all wrong"?
Yeah. Yep, they say they got it wrong. You know, Pablo Hidalgo came out and said it. You got it wrong. The story group said, you know, if that's what you got from it, then you misunderstood it. Over and over again. But it's hard. I mean, I've said it once. I'll say it again. It's hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube. People ran with it, and you know, those videos got views.
Spooky Kitty and KG are running with the emoji wall.
I just was seeing like a ton of eggplants all over the screen. I was like, oh my god, where did these come from?
Choco's Pictionary.
Yeah, no, KG was spamming choco chips on the Around the Galaxy.
That's
The
gonna be an
underscreen
OnlyFans
spider
charge,
guy has
sir.
become a member of the Dad Squadron.
Hey,
Hey.
Spider Guy, we appreciate it. Hopefully that's a Spider-Man reference. And if you
Yes,
main
it is.
Spider-Man and Marvel Rivals, don't blame my team. I'm just saying. There's 4 good Spider-Men. That's it. That's my theory.
And they're all actually Spider-Man. Like it's Peter Parker, Miles Morales. Who's 2099 Hector?
Actually, my theory is the terrible Spider-Men are actually Spider-Man because they play him more accurate. They can't kill a goddamn person. They swing in the back line and then they like tickle someone's butt and then they swing off and you're like, cool. Thanks.
I've told him that, but he likes to throw it in my face because I like Raylo. Whatever. But that's also another kind of added consequence of these YouTubers that do not share the same kind of integrity or quote unquote journalistic integrity as us, right? Because
You were never there. Sorry.
we talk about lore and then we cite it, right? Whereas most of these YouTube videos that we kind of grew up watching have just been like talking about the lore and then no one knows where they got it. Like, then that becomes the zeitgeist. That's the economy of knowledge people are working with. You know, when you see a video of the most powerful Jedi in Star Wars, and it's like, you know, Nomi Sunrider and who's that one? Exar Kun, and then like all of these characters, but they don't like say what books these guys are from, what comics they're from, like where did all of their feats come from. So, you know, we need to change things up a bit, you know what I mean?
Indeed.
It's always whatever gets the mad revenue. Yeah, and this goes into our kind of like discussion a couple of months ago, actually, when we were talking about how some of these authors don't see a dime because people espouse their these stories without citing the book they're from, and so people can't go and read the book.
Harith in the chat, do me a favor and send a couple more eggplants.
Okay.
Seriously? Oh my god.
I'm waiting for this.
Oh boy. Oh boy. What's what? Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Oh my gosh.
I listen, on my screen I caught it. That's all I'm
You
saying.
gotta clip that. Y'all in these emojis. What's up, people? How's it going, Geek of all trades? All right, listen. I'm gonna stop this show right now, really quickly. There's a lot of you in the chat. Appreciate all of you, but I'm gonna need y'all to press that like button right now because I'm seeing a lot of our previous shows where we clearly have a lot of you in there, and there's only 3 likes. There's like 4 likes, and I know there's more than 4 of you guys.
Deploy the likes.
Harris said, "Look, I'm the cook." Dang. Harris cooking for Choco.
Yeah. Cooking up that eggplant parmesan, you know?
Also, Spider Guy, I appreciate you becoming a squadron leader. That is quite the tier.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
Spider
you-
Guy. Spider Guy says, I actually uninstalled the game for reasons. Listen, I get it. You try to rank up, it's an important game, and then you hear, again! And then your team keeps trickling out, so you can keep doing that for an hour and a half, and you're like, just stay in spawn for 5 seconds.
I smell profit.
Blue Eagle Gamer super chatted 2.51 credits. Yeehaw.
I still have to fix
Thank you so much, Blue Eagle Gamer. We absolutely appreciate it. You know, so our first major meetup was in was that Star Wars Celebration in 2021, 2022. When was that? The Anaheim.
That's gonna be an
Master James
OnlyFans charge,
Kenobi has
sir.
become a member of the DYAD Squadron.
Yeah, thank you for joining. So what we did with all the revenue is we actually did a ramen party, and we bought ramen for everyone who came out.
Oh, yeah.
And it was
Remember
fantastic.
that.
Yeah.
So what's the next one then? A sushi party?
I mean, unfortunately, we're not going to Japan,
We're not.
I smell profit.
but that
We're-
would be
Harold
legit
super
ramen
chatted
party if we did.
1.99 credits. Yeehaw.
Harris, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. We really.
We will
It's
take
awesome.
all of these proceeds and do a sushi party here in America, though.
Yes.
It just has to be here because you're not going to find really good sushi in the Midwest.
Yeah, we're actually still we're working on the next DICON, and so we can all be together again. We'll see. There's still
Yay!
a lot of
More
moving
DICON,
parts
let's
on
go.
that. Yeah, Mari came to the. Oh, there's a lot of sushi
Shrimp
in there.
and sushi all over the screen.
Mari, how was DICON for you?
It was amazing because I don't know if that was the highlight of my year or if my panel at Fan Expo Chicago was they're like the same, I feel like, but
That's awesome.
DICON was, I'm so glad I did it because I almost didn't, and I am so glad that I did because it was incredible. And I was so scared and I was so anxious. But it turned out to be amazing. And I am so incredibly thankful for TikTok because you guys found me. And like, I was just so, I loved it. And like, I will never get over that. Like that'll always be just like a big core member because it was also my first time at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
And so it just was perfect. Other than the bullying I got on my my video, but it was just I want to cry again because it was just incredible, and I miss it every day. I really do. Like I miss it.
It was a fantastic time. I see Jedi Connor in the chat. So he says DICON W. That was one of my favorite parts, was actually getting to meet Jedi Connor, because like, again, this whole journey started for me by me sending audiobooks to Jedi Connor and being like, I should start like a book club or something.
I will say, just in reference to DICON or DYADCon, is some of my best, most cherished friends in life I met there, right? So I mean, I don't even stay in contact with the people that I was friends with in high school. Like,
well, let's face it. The main difference is we all came together because of shared interest and love. Versus like these people were physically near me when I was young.
Yeah. Forced to be friends.
Yeah, and not for, and of course, there's still a lot of people in my life I love from those, but like it is a special and a different type of bond. Anyways, yeah, we're looking to do another DICON, or probably get a big place where everyone can hang out together. My vote is to do a DYAD cruise, just because it would be 1,000 times cheaper and way easier to navigate for everyone involved, and would have free food, and you could do your own thing, and there's excursions on a daily basis. But
I put my vote on that as well, but we have to be considerate because we are considerate people. Considerate of those who are either scared of the ocean, scared of boats, or get motion sickness. So we kind of...
The cabin in the woods idea was really cool, though. I really liked that idea where we go just hang out and play games in a rented cabin somewhere. I don't know, that just seemed like a really fun, chill idea.
Something I've never done in my life with like a bunch of friends, to be quite honest. I've never rented out a huge cabin and just stayed there, But it is one of the options, because like as much as we loved staying in the same hotel, just being in the same like vicinity where we can just like all wake up and cook up a huge massive breakfast and stuff and have our own games to play. Do the karaoke.
Tate would come find me in the mornings. Seriously, and Tate would come find me in the mornings and be like, I want a hug. Like, I miss him so much. But he would I'd be there eating breakfast and he'd come in and be like, can I have a hug? I'm like, yeah, you can. But that was I think that was also just being in the same vicinity as everybody as well. It just, it was a wonderful time. It was truly, truly a wonderful time. I don't want to do it
the
again,
next
so
one
bad.
we certainly want to emphasize being together, right?
My last cabin in the woods experience ended with me having to fight 2 UFC fighters 4 hours on end, and it was not fun. I threw a man down a staircase at one point.
Wait, in real life? Literally?
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, that's not something you can gloss over.
Yeah, no, it was my friend Vanessa, and she had her best friend was into this guy or whatever, and so that guy and his brother came, and there were these 2 UFC fighter dudes who were obsessed with fighting. One of them was all super jacked and stuff, and the other was his younger brother. And everyone else, we're chill, we're just hanging out, we're watching movies, playing guitar, hiking, all this stuff. But these guys were these aggressive. If you are from Southern California, you know what a 909er is. These were a bunch of 909ers. Where they're wearing tap out stuff. They have bedazzled jeans and all that stuff. They're just the worst people ever. Anyways, they both split a bottle of tequila amongst themselves, and they both get really drunk, and they challenged me to wrestling, the one that was all super cut is. I don't know if you know this, but people who are super ripped usually aren't super strong, because for reasons. Anyways, I beat him with an armbar. His little brother gets super mad that his older brother lost. They start fighting with each other, but now they're super drunk and they're getting crazy. My friend Vanessa, who's the one who put this whole thing together, tried to calm him down. She gets backhanded in the face. It was an accident, but like that was not okay. So, and that was the younger brother who did it. So I pick him up and I threw him out the front door. I literally picked him up and I threw him out the front door. There was a staircase in the front door.
Wait, you did a to somebody?
So yeah, I got really mad when he hit her. So I threw him out the door, locked the door. The other brother was super drunk, and so I wrestled him down, but he was like, at this point he was a monster. So we had him on the ground. We had two girls sitting on his arms. My friend Dustin was holding both of his legs. I literally choked him out to unconsciousness because he's on steroids, and he's like, trying to rip everyone up. So we have to lock him out. The other guy's trying to get back in. At one point, there's like a super loud bang on the door, and so someone looks out. Oh, that's what happened. So I threw him out the door. That's not when he fell out. That's not when he fell down the stairs. So I threw him out the door, and then there's a big bang after we choke out his brother. So his older brother's now unconscious on the floor in the living room. Jeez. Loud bang. One of the girls, Megan, goes and she opens the door, and there's no one there. She's like, "Guys, there's no one there." And then he runs in, and then I have to like fight him. And then that's when I was like, went around the like kitchen and then threw him out. And then he fell down the stairs of that one. And I was like, I can't even worry about this because I'm also not sober. So at that point, I cooked fried egg sandwiches for everyone. And we called their parents to come pick them up. And they did. So the parents come, they pick up the older brother who's now calm after, and then like we didn't know where the younger brother was because he was just gone, and then he comes back and his arm is in like a makeshift sling and he has a beer. and like the parents take both of them home, and we're just like, well, that was strange.
The fried egg sandwiches.
I need everyone in the chat right now to type in, "Why didn't you tell me Choco rolls like this?" Geek of all trades says he hit him with a jazz throw. Yeah. Dang.
It was good times. It was terrible at the time. We had a real quiet next morning breakfast.
So, I mean, my experience is totally so much shorter because, when my brother bumped into this guy at the club and they wanted to start fighting, I just broke his elbow, and he stopped.
That'll stop
What?
it right there.
How did you break his elbow?
I am of the martial arts. No, he tried to throw a punch, and they were like perpendicular to me. So when they were going at it, he threw a punch at my brother, and my brother sidestepped. But I grabbed his arm, full weight on it, and did that. It didn't last very long.
Yeah,
So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you're a chud and you're trying to square up with me and Choco, Lore Master isn't going to describe what's going to happen.
Listen,
I also have my lightsabers on me.
I grew up boxing. I know some jiu-jitsu. It's not something I talk about just because I honestly don't think violence is the answer
No.
often. But it is an answer sometimes.
It's one of the options.
Yeah.
It's not the default option. You don't want to meet lore accurate Choco and Element. Yeah. But again, we don't condone violence. You know. But we will defend those we love. We are anime main characters. We will defend our loved ones at all costs. Marianne, do you have a story like that?
No, not really. But one time, me and my sister went to the local bar and got really drunk. And at one point, I remember laying on the floor of the living room, and then she's trying to get me to go downstairs to my room to go to bed, and and I ended up like jumping on her back. But like she said it was dead weight, and because my bedroom is downstairs, we almost tumbled down the stairs. So she's carried me down the stairs, and there's like this low hanging wall or something like that, and wham, right into my and she's just like, I don't know how she got me to because she was super drunk too, but I somehow ended up back in bed. But it's just like, I remember, yeah, that hurt.
That's equally as crazy, to be quite honest.
But she said that
tumbling down the stairs into a low wall.
Like I just like, oh yeah, we.
It's perfect conditions. It's a perfect storm.
Oh man, it was. I haven't gotten that drunk in a long time.
There's nothing like waking up with like a what happened to me? It hurts.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got drugged once actually. When I was at Universal, I went to what is that, Universal City Walk or whatever, and it was so bad. I was so drunk, and I don't remember much about what happened. I remember being like locked in my friend's car, and they went into Denny's because they wanted me to eat, but I said no, I want to sleep. And I opened the door, and it set the alarm off. and then they come running out like, no, we did that on purpose because we didn't want you to get out and leave. And oh man, God, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's Harriet says drunk Denny's do hit different. Yes and no. So I would go drunk Mel's Diner, which
We see.
in Star Wars it's lore accurate. So
My spot.
Mel's down.
My spot is the either the taco truck outside Vanguard Club, or sometimes you got them carts with the bacon wrapped hot dogs.
Ooh.
Do not pass those up when you get it. You either get a quesadilla from the taco truck when you're drunk, or you get a bacon wrapped hot dog.
Those are one of my favorite things about Comic-Con is because we there's random vendors doing TJ dogs at the end of Comic-Con. That's like my tradition. I find one, I haggle his price down, and get a TJ dog because it's amazing. But yeah, no drinking. It's a steak, eggs, and potatoes burrito that night, and then the next morning you get a big old bowl of pho. Oh, it's the best because pho it's a food and a drink. It's wonderful.
The complete package is if you get ramen, then get drunk, and then get pho in the morning. Because you get that richness, but then you get that cleanseness in the morning. Love it. So,
and coconut water is a must.
Is that? Are you being relevant?
Yeah, I saw that. It was like, well, no, coconut water like goes hard in those situations too.
We have one more thing to talk about in terms of news and lore, which is Jeff Snyder, reporting that the Hound from Game of Thrones might be replacing Ray Stevenson as Balin Skull. Now, of course, this is a rumor, not confirmed in any way, shape, or form. But how we feeling, chat? How we feeling about that? If it happens.
We got a lot of Elphaba's heart bouncing around here, so I think they're pro.
There was somebody else I thought would have been a good recast for Balin Skull, but I can't think of his name anymore. But I don't know. I got the Hound.
I still like Liev Schreiber for it.
Yes, him.
Though this is as Harith and Blue Eagle Gamer says, it's a solid choice. I do think it's a solid choice. They actually were friends, so we'll see. I mean, as with all kind of casting, I like to reserve judgment. Ever since this is probably going to be a hot take, but ever since I had doubts about Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman and then seeing her in BVS, I actually thought she was a really good Wonder Woman. That's of course outside of everything we've learned about Gal Gadot recently. But yeah, it was at that point that I
still think the third act of that movie was terrible.
Huh? What?
I was actually never too hot on the Wonder Woman movie, on the first one, because I always hated the third act of that film. But I felt like I was alone. So,
I actually don't remember.
But Harith is there. I just feel like the third act just literally made no sense, and it didn't do anything, and it was just a bunch of random events happening. Also, we had what's his name? The bad guy was like, no, and he's super buff, but had this weird mustache that made him look like Dudley from Street Fighter, and I just laughed hysterically every time. Yeah. I will say though, Wonder Woman was probably the best part of Batman versus Superman, because that was like super anime. Blue Eagle Gamer says, "Can I ask a question about a recent book released? If you can, absolutely ask it. If we have not read it, we probably won't answer. But go for it.
Do so at your own peril."
Like, the message of men are messy and will always create conflict. There is no God of War is such a great twist. Then they stomped on it and went for yeah, it's this guy with the mustache. Yeah, it was that, and it was like the poisoner chick, it just didn't matter, and then this just like died unceremoniously. I don't know. I didn't like the third act of that movie. If you did, that's fine. A lot of people did.
The fact that I can't even remember what the third act was kind of speaks volumes. I just know that I liked Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in just general casting. And then when when Batman was about to get fried by Doomsday's beam, and she, just like in an anime, just drops and blocks it, and it goes dun, 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 dun. I was like, damn, that's going hard right now.
Her song is cool. The volume was too loud. I don't know.
I got to hear that live. I got to hear her theme live.
It's a great theme. It's an
awesome theme. When I heard it live, and it was fantastic.
But in the movie, they cranked that up to 11, and it was like,
that's what you do in
anime. Would you consider the Star Wars Bestiary Volume 1 the first piece of media post TROS? I have not read it yet. I purchased it. I have it. But I haven't jumped into it yet. I was like, this is going to be a great source for some content. and I still contend it will be. The looming TikTok ban is what stopped me from making it content. But I'll need to read
Yeah.
into it in order to get more information. But since I haven't actually read it, I didn't know that it contained an actual narrative. But technically, when does the Rise and Fall of the Empire take place? That's another book I have, but have not read yet. It's written as a textbook.
Right, it's a bestiary.
So it very well might be, and I really do want that time period to be available for people to make content in, because I think that's what we need.
Yeah, I think for the most part, and I think I can speak for Choco as well, is we're kind of waiting to see what TikTok does before any kind of substantial pushes of content on that side. Now, on this side, we're always going to be live. We're always going to be doing the show, and we're always going to be pushing out the videos that we're interested in. I I just uploaded a video on Pantheon. We're going to have our full review on Pantheon shortly. Not shortly, but within the next couple of days.
So good.
Which I should recommend to Marianne. Watch Pantheon on Netflix.
What? Pantheon?
Yeah, it's an animated show, but it's like an animated show. Like, it's not like an animated cartoon for kids.
Animated series.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on Rotten Tomatoes it was a 10 out of 10, which
Oh.
it's hard to use Rotten Tomatoes because of culture war nonsense, but 10 out of 10 this speaks highly.
Oh yeah. It's like TLJ. Cinema score A+.
What? Oh, I see. Okay, I'll look into it. It looks interesting.
It's a great movie. It's just how it's so grounded in theoretical science and astrophysics. Then he squeezes through a black hole and end up behind the bookshelf. I just didn't like that. Oh, okay. So we're talking about Interstellar.
Oh, Interstellar! I love Interstellar. That movie my mind. I gotta watch it again because
Well, I'll tell you what. Pantheon's gonna fuck with your mind.
Great,
Yeah.
I love that.
If you liked Interstellar and the mind messery, oh my god,
blasting.
Yeah,
All right,
Pantheon.
all right.
Pantheon will be your jazz. Let's see here.
Now hold on. This isn't a spoiler, but it is something that has to do with the premise of Pantheon. And I do want to ask Marianne, if you had a chance to upload your consciousness into the cloud to potentially achieve digital immortality, would you do it? No framing, just you put your consciousness into the cloud and you can think inside of a machine rather than in your mortal body.
Maybe because I guess the idea of watching, if it makes you immortal, I guess I like the idea of watching the history of the human race progress, see how humans evolve and change over time and stuff like that, and maybe the rise of the robots, who knows. But at the same time, I don't know, because I don't know.
I'm okay with that answer. By the way, everybody needs to get on board with being okay with an I don't know.
I know. But yeah, I just it's something that I think would be really cool, but at the same time I'm maybe, I don't know. But I never really thought about what if immortality is something that I would want to try and achieve, I work in the healthcare field, so maybe that's why.
But there's a caveat. It's your mind in the cloud, meaning, sure, it's immortality, but also reality is largely what you make of it, right? There's no hunger. There's no money. There's no, like you can develop your own everything, and there's you don't have any of the same stressors or worries that you would have with a physical form.
That's true, but I don't know. That's something I have to think about. It's really
Take this
interesting.
confusion and multiply it by 10, and you've got Pantheon.
Oh, perfect! I love that. Yay! Am I gonna have an existential crisis when I watch this show?
Oh
You
yeah,
could.
but at the
You
end of
should.
season 2, yeah. But it's in a good way. In a good way.
Okay. Good.
Woodsy in the chat says, I kind of feel like Peter Griffin right now, but I don't like Interstellar. I did not care for The Godfather. No, it's fine. I still maintain. Listen, my hot take is that his best movie is The Prestige. That's my favorite of his films, The Prestige.
You're talking about Christopher Nolan?
Yeah. The best Christopher Nolan film is The Prestige, and
I don't think I've seen that.
oh, I love it.
What were you?
It's
proposing-
Wolverine, Batman, and David Bowie. What's not to like?
What were you proposing that we watch earlier?
Van Helsing.
Oh yeah. That's a fun.
Oh, that's a fun one. I like Van Helsing.
Hey,
Yeah,
you owe me $5,000 million.
So it's a fun one. So there's a new Wolverine skin in Marvel Rivals, and it's like half based off of his character in Van Helsing, and then kind of mashed up with Old Man Logan, kind of.
Okay.
Which, by the way, they need to do the Old Man Logan version of the Hulk. That's the skin I need. What was his name? I keep wanting to say the Professor, but that's not it. The Inquisitor. No, it's does anyone remember the name of Hulk in Old Man Logan? He had a full beard and he was just like elegant AF. Did they already talk about Skeleton Crew? Not yet.
I haven't got into Skeleton Crew.
Let's go. Let's talk about Skeleton Crew. We've been going for a hot minute.
Wasn't the instructor?
The Maestro. It was the Maestro was his name.
My next one was the conductor.
It was close.
My back would no longer ache. Get me in that cloud now. Yeah, I asked Choco the same
Exactly.
question, and we posted the video of him just saying yes, really, really fast. Okay, let's go into Skeleton Crew. Speaking of, what do y'all think of the possibility of the Skeleton Crew supervisor being a HAL-like droid, and how it could bring forth a conversation on how humans and such could become second-class citizens to droids?
Okay, no. I wasn't like on long. I was kind of on that same thought. I was like, I don't know if the supervisor is actually human.
Yeah, I
You
don't,
know?
I don't think it's. I think so. During our reaction, I kind of posited the notion that the supervisor could be Tack Renid. In a situation where it's kind of like he found out that the supervisor for this civilization was like a Wizard of Oz, something behind the curtain, like thing that just didn't exist, and it was just like an automation. And so Tack Renid abandoned his crew and became like the supervisor that's just kind of overseeing the automation. I don't know. That's kind of like my reach theory. But I'm on board with the fact that the supervisor doesn't exist. Like, it's all automated.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to the comment, I would lose my crap if John is like, "Let me out of here," and then the supervisor's like, "I'm afraid I can't do that, John."
No, he doesn't say John. He says his real name. I can't do that, Jude.
Jude.
His name is Jude Wall.
Now listen, okay, listen. I still think Jod has one. I think he actually is force sensitive, and two, I think he's had some kind of training. I know, like I had seen somebody say that they were now leaning away from the Jedi training because of the way he handled the lightsaber. He seemed kind of like clunky with it, but at the same time, it kind of reminds me of somebody who never made it past like the Padawan stage, for instance. You know, but
That's weird
I am
because we both kind of came out of it thinking he looked pretty solid with his form. Like I watched it. I watched it again to get a thumbnail of it.
Yeah, because when I was watching it earlier to make the statements, I was like, I don't know. Like watching the way he wielded it, because like, first of all, we don't really get a full view of how he was like swinging it when he was threatening the kids. But the few instances that we see him, I'm like, I don't know, guys. I feel like he has had some training, and I get that from my musical theory of hearing the Force theme when we first meet him. That's like I'm convinced he's had some kind of training. He's also got that complex with droids like Mando does. And so I'm like, okay, then he was definitely affected by Clone Wars. I mean, who wasn't? Was he a Padawan? Was he a commander Padawan during Clone Wars, or or something? I don't know, but I'm still convinced that he is A, force sensitive, and B, possibly had some kind of Jedi training. And also, I'm with Harith. I don't think I would mind if they never revealed his backstory either. But it's just
it's a possibility that they don't ever.
So I'm of a couple minds here. So for one, Disney Plus, you got to give us more episodes.
Yeah.
Listen. We that was the penultimate episode that we watched, which means everything has to be done and concluded in the next episode. And you might do it. You might stick the landing. It might be great. Don't get me wrong. That's perfectly fine. But when it comes to shows,
leave it in the hands of you might stick the landing. That's why we need more time.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you have a story arc, and it kind of goes and it swoops upward. It swoops upward. We need like 3 episodes in this high point. Not one. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they've trimmed these shows down.
I smell profit.
So...
09 Scherzo super chatted 5 credits. Yeehaw.
09 Scherzo, we certainly appreciate it. It says, I think he's going to tell the parents he's a Jedi, and then all to the supervisor, mentioning to the children not to speak against him. So it's definitely an interesting thought. I'm thinking, well, okay, so we'll come back to this. I wanted to say we need more episodes because they've left these so trim and neat that we don't have the fat, and we need the fat because that's where the flavor is, right? There's so many shows or anime, stuff like that, where there might be like a couple episodes of filler, but that filler endears us to these characters, which means like the hard stuff hits us that much harder. And I feel like we just need more of that. But as far as predictions for what's going to happen, what's going to happen is Jod is going to try to escape, and Neil is going to shoot his ass down on a big cannon that's mounted in the top of the school. That's what's going to happen.
Top of the school.
The one that he found out exists, thanks to Hana.
He's like, I have a girlfriend, but she's like in Canada, so she doesn't go here.
She doesn't go here. Aren't they guaranteed? Aren't we going to get a season 2 of Skeleton Crew? Wasn't there like a guarantee of like 2 seasons for Skeleton Crew?
No.
Not that I've heard of. No.
Boop.
And I don't know that I want a season 2, at least not without a significant time jump. So my personal feelings is, last episode we saw all the kids finally work together as a crew, right?
Right.
We had Neil
That's
as a
true, yeah.
pirate. We had a gunner. We had an engineer. We had the captain, working in harmony, and it was fantastic. And all of those kids now are older. They finished shooting like 2 years ago. And if there's another story, because at the end of the day, I don't think the answer is at Atten. Right? It's a super structured thing where the kid's life is determined when they're in middle school. That's crazy. That's insane. But also, pirates are just big kids, right? And that's kind of the messaging that we get from Smee being like, yeah, it's close enough to pirate code, right? Because they're calling dibs, and that's literally what pirates do. You know what I mean? Dibs on this ship. Well, then we fight. Yeah. It's the same. It's the same thing. And so what they need is somewhere in between. I would love it if we jump ahead a couple years and we get them as a crew that uses the wealth of these planets to like help to Robin Hood people. You know what I mean? Like to help build up communities.
Wait
That'd be
a
cool.
minute. You know how I posited that Jod's name might be on the wall of the path? What if these kids grow up to be a part of that?
I mean, the path would already be going strong by now.
Right. So they would join the efforts. You know, they're kind of losing money and they need financial support. You know? Yeah. That would be kind of cool.
Well, here's the first question for everyone in chat and everyone on the panel here. Jod did the heel turn on us when he brutally shot Brutus in the face. He's a dangerous man. Is he redeemable?
He is redeemable because Brutus is a dick.
Well, I don't think we need to have like a redeeming story for Jod. I think really the story, the main point of the story could be like these children coming from like different walks of life, coming together, going on an adventure and learning to work together, you know, and like there's a lot of like themes in Skeleton Crew that really hit with people, you know, and so I'm honestly fine with the idea of Jod not having a redemption arc. Just leave him evil. Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Well,
in the chat, we have Harith saying, no, after he shot Brutus, he chopped Smee's head off, which is a dick move. Master James Kenobi, on the other hand, says he is redeemable because Star Wars. What do you think, Pep?
I'm thinking that he's redeemable. I don't know if we need him to be redeemed, and I don't know to what extent we mean by a redemption, because we're talking about pirates here, right? And I think if the crux of the story results in the other pirates attacking at Atten and getting through, there's a chance that Jod, you know, chooses the kids over the pirates. Does that mean he's redeemed? No, that just means that he kind of, you know, learned to like the kids, and he's like, you know what, fine, you know, I'll hang with you guys. But I don't think that means he is totally redeemed, or that, you know, it's a redemption arc. At least for me, I think there's still a chance that Jod might endear himself to the kids, given the right circumstances.
Okay, so part of me was like, was this a front? Like the way he was, you know, when he turned into a dick. I was like, is part of this a front? Like, is he doing this to protect the kids? He's getting the kids away from the pirates. He's getting them back home, while at the same time, you know, getting his reward, going for the money. Yeah. So part of it is like, was this a front? And then the way he talked to the kids, like, I felt like he was also projecting himself onto them, where he was like there was that moment where I was like, he's having some kind of flashback in his head as he's talking down to these kids. Like I also felt like there's a moment of projection going on, but I part of me just wonders if that was a front.
Yeah,
But I
I
don't
mean
know.
that was actually going to be my very next question, because we've seen him as the kind of sketchy uncle who's watching the kids, but
Right.
we also we see him currently as a menace. However, he puts on the helmet from before, and he's acting like he did before the kids showed up. So the question is this a front? Is this not a front? Which one is the real Jod? Does Jod know if
He doesn't even know who he is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's the
does
thing
he
about him. That's the thing about him. He goes by so many different names, and he's put on so many different fronts. You know, with Pocket, who knows him as
Hello Pocket?
what was his name to Pocket? It was something Xanton. Either way, he's Crimson Jack. He's something Xanton. He's Jod Nanawood. He's Captain Silvo. You know, he spends a lot of time pretending to be people.
Yeah.
And
Which again, why I think like he was projecting there for a moment.
He might
On
have.
his
I mean,
kids.
like if you think about the very Dash Xanton, thank you. If you think about the possibility of him putting on a front to protect the kids, the way he's treating them and the way that he is kind of putting forth this kind of demeanor makes sense, because he has to act that way as the captain who just took
Captain
back the
Silvo.
pirates, right?
Yeah.
So he's not going to take it back from Brutus and then go back to being, you know, kind of like nice with the kids all of a sudden. So he might just be kind of keeping things because when he lays his eyes on the gold crates, he's no longer like this tough kind of like cold.
Like a
He's
manic.
just like gold. He finally has his reward.
He turned into a cartoon wolf going "Aruga!" Like it was weird.
Interesting.
I actually didn't. I kind of hated that scene just because I was like,
I thought it was a little too much. I was like, all right. This
But
is
it was also indicative. It's also indicative of the automation of the civilization, because, like we said in our reaction, they didn't check first papers. They didn't verify identity. They said, "You must be the emissary." It's like, yes, I am. And he's totally like not acting like an emissary the whole time, but they believe it because they're droids, and they are programmed to welcome the emissary ship to offload its cargo and then be off and on their way. And they don't. The way he's acting is not very official like, but they don't question it and that's why I'm on the whole like there's no real supervisor. It's just a system that's designed to take in Republic ships, offload their materials, and then they print the money and then they leave. And whoever's on that ship is the emissary, even if they act like Jod, you know.
yeah. No,
Jod-
this was a interesting episode.
Jod may have been on a distant planet, or just like Cal Kestis when Order 66 hit, and probably got into pirating because of it. He has an issue with droids because he would have witnessed the Clone War. Maybe.
Yeah, I honestly, the way he reacts towards droids, especially in this episode, made me think of Mando with his whole droid complex because of his PTSD from Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I see some similarities here. He had to have had something from the
Yeah.
Clone Wars.
Batosai
Yeah,
says, "Hey guys, just came to leave my wink. Keep up the good work. Don't forget to leave your like." But
They
thanks
did.
for joining us.
They said, "Leave my like."
so here's
Oh,
Here's where I'm at with it. It weirds me out when people don't think he's force sensitive because there's been nothing to suggest that he's not. I definitely, believe he is force sensitive. He is using the force. My theory is that he is a youngling who left prior to the war, prior to Order 66. You don't have to say we've had many stories of younglings who was like, this isn't the life for me. I also just think that would just be an interesting story beat because you'll have someone like Wim, who really wants to be a Jedi, wants to live that life. And then you could have someone who grew up in that life but couldn't hack it and left to go be a pirate. I also think that that's why we only see very rudimentary usage of the Force. He didn't say it. He didn't do much training. When Smee is trying to rip people limb from limb, he had to jump and physically turn off him because small articulations are so much harder than a force push or a force pull.
Well, what about his
more
his speech to Wim? Talking about attachments. I don't think I mean, honestly, I don't feel like the Jedi code or any Jedi teachings were super accessible to anybody, especially after the rise of the Empire. So how did he get that knowledge if he didn't have some kind of training?
And that's another big part is he quotes parts of the Jedi code, he quotes Qui-Gon, but he does it in a way that's, to me, is more reminiscent of what we saw in the Acolyte when the kids are repeating what the parents said, and so they it's wrong, but they're trying to repeat it to the best of their ability. Right. Because what he thought, his conclusion about attachments isn't what the Jedi believe. So it feels like it's something that he heard mentally but didn't get to the point of understanding it. And then when he takes off Smee's head, he actually uses proper form, but really, really basic form. So that part also leads me to believe that he's had some training, but not enough to know anything.
Yeah. I'm just Geek of All Trades says, I hope one of the kids show force sensitivity. If you follow my Blue Sky, I just posted KB is force sensitive. And I'll just leave it at that. I don't have any evidence.
He's got to keep riding that until the wheels fall off.
KB is force sensitive, and Quinlan Voss is going to show up.
Quinlan Voss?
I got to keep it up, man.
What?
Listen, if Quinlan Voss shows up, I'm going to lose my shit and also message you directly and saying, Quinlan Voss is here. Nemo says, not the Voss. Yes, the Voss. Every single show, I'm on Quinlan watch. You don't understand.
Quinlan Voss.
And I've kept it close to my chest this whole time because I knew this really wasn't a Jedi kind of show. But now that we're talking about, possibly him leaving, being part of the Jedi to some degree, I'm like, Quinlan Voss, man. He's going to save the kids. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
He swoops in and saves the day.
Spooky Kitty says, I don't think he's currently a Jedi. I think he was trained by the Jedi when he was young and used those skills to survive as a pirate. That's entirely possible as well. When Caleb was surviving after Order 66, he worked with it. Was he a pirate? I forget his name. The one that he worked with while he was hiding. I forget who he was, but it was not.
Calfor says Kunlun Voss, new Iron Fist Jedi. I'm into it.
That would be an awesome one. It's also 1S.
God, so picky.
Unless you're talking about the Old Republic planet, which is 2 S's. Nemo says, "Oh, I get it. Voss will be found dead in a ditch." You're lucky I need you in the comp.
Quinlan Voss. That's crazy. Crazy to me. Or just no cameos at all.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I would be fine with that.
I'm not. You know me. I have expectations, but I don't get mad when those expectations don't come true. Rather, I have desires. Like I desire KB to be force sensitive. I desire.
The way you said that just made me think of Kramer on Seinfeld. Like, I yearn. Do you yearn?
I yearn.
Definitely gives off a Padawan level of force wielding and lightsaber handling. Yes.
The post-credit scene is Voss jumping out of hyperspace. Like, yeah, I'm here. Oh, I'm too late. I like that because the way it's worded, I picture just him, like, not in a ship. He just jumps out of hyperspace and he's just like...
Where's Alderaan?
It's like, damn it! That's just how I picture him.
A lot of folks think this leads to Thrawn, but I don't see it happening at least yet. No.
So, like, the way it could potentially lead to Thrawn is if either the pirates do get their hands on the vaults, which the pirate money starts to go up, but it gets taken over by, Rin Revan Dai's gang, which is actually where the seed money for the First Order comes from. Or if this was all a trick and that money is going directly to fund the Shadow Empire. And both of those are certainly possible. I almost want to keep this thing entirely separate and have it to myself as this little jewel over here. This is special. But that being said, we're already connected to the Mandoverse. We have Vane in it. So, we'll see.
And we don't see Gorian Shard. So it means it's after season 3. I think.
I wondered where it was.
Right? That means it's like 9 or 10 ABY. We don't have confirmation, but Gorian Shard was Vane's captain, right? And so
yeah.
if he's not serving Gorian Shard, this is after that. After season 3. So that's the best we can do in terms of chronology, I suppose. These funds may be used to one day fund the First Order. Maybe. I can see Carson Teva, Mon Mothma, Hera, or maybe even Ezra. I can see that this show has 0 cameos.
I'd be fine with that, honestly.
Is
There's no
Vane not a
reason.
cameo already, though?
No, he's not. He's a pirate. He's a pirate. He belongs in the show.
Yeah, he's still a cameo from another show.
But a cameo is something that's short-lived. That they come on and then they peace out. He's been in there for a while.
Maybe. No. I just don't know that that's the definition of a cameo. Because he's clearly not a main character or anything. But,
Well, it is the definition
It is what
of a
it is.
cameo.
Okay, fine. No, like Mando or Ahsoka or those character cameos. Okay, we'll be a little more specific.
Yeah, no Anakin.
Yeah, no Anakin.
It's like
No Force Ghost Anakin showing up.
John's like scolding the kids, and then Anakin shows up. I don't like this. It's not fair. Huh? Where did that come from?
So a cameo is a small character part in a player movie played by a distinguished actor or celebrity. In this context, as long as it's considered a small part, it would still be a cameo. Harris says, no, Luke Skywalker. One thing I don't need... I love seeing Luke in Mando Season 2, but I didn't.
It would have been
like
awesome as Quinlan Voss.
I loved it, but I loved it, but I didn't like it. I think it's bad writing to have a character that is not part of your story's narrative show up to save the day and solve their problems. You know what I mean? Like, they could just end every Star Wars project with either Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader showing up.
Kind of calling conclusion to the whole thing.
I'd like a Dash Rendar Easter egg.
The Outlander, is it Outrider was in New Hope.
Yeah, it's in the special edition New Hope.
But
he's canon again from a certain point of view, right? So that's good. That's something.
Okay, everyone in chat. If there is a cameo in Skeleton Crew that would not ruin it, that makes complete sense, who would it be? And I'm taking Hondo off of the table.
Yeah, no Hondo. That's too easy. That's too easy. I will also. I just want to point out one cameo I also didn't like, and it was C-3PO in Ahsoka. And not that I didn't like it, but the way it was shot was weird. He wasn't like a regular character. It was shot in a way it was like, hey, look at this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It didn't feel natural.
He's the only one that makes sense. He's not the only one that makes sense, which is why I'm taking him off the table. Blue Eagle says the pirate from Rebels. Are you talking about Zago? That'd be kind of cool, actually. It's not gonna be like, it's not gonna ruin the narrative like Luke Skywalker would. It's like, oh look, it's another pirate we know. But yeah, this narrative so far has been so clean of kind of larger galactic implications that, you know,
literally
young. That's you.
Zeb.
You and I share a brain cell sometimes.
I was thinking Zeb too.
So
that would be cool.
As a cameo, we've seen the X-Wings coming out trying to save the kids,
That
right?
could
So
be
we
true.
know that there's a Republic force out there. Zeb's was in so much detail when we saw him that's not a one-time use like CGI, creation.
it was so good. While we were watching, we said, "That's not Zeb."
I know. I was the same way. I was like, "Are we sure that's Zeb?" Yeah, it was Zeb.
You know what? Let's throw the Fandom Menace through a huge ass Mobius strip loop and put Ki-Adi-Mundi in this show.
He's back from the dead. What?
He
We
survived.
all saw him die. Disney's done it again. Oh, that would be hilarious. Good luck.
So I feel like the pretty one more one that is likely is again what I'm saying. He hops back. John hops back in the ship, flies off. Neil shoots him, so the ship is kind of limping, and he has to crash land somewhere.
Love that.
That is a great one.
And Mando shows up because he obviously has a bounty on his head.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
That does.
So you could have the kids be like, you know what? He's a terrible person, but we'll let him go because he at least took care of us when we needed to, right? So they kind of have that heart, and they're kind of taken out of the equation, but like they still leave a bullet in his ass, And so yeah, he lands somewhere, and then you hear like the spurs, and like
But this is something
you hear, I can take you in warm, or I can take you in cold. And then it ends. You never even see Mando. You just hear the line, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And it cuts.
This is
That would be
something that we've been
beautiful.
advocating for a while now, and Blue Eagle Gamer brings it back up, and that's Dr. Afra. And that cameo would be so stellar because she would have heard about the Old Republic Dattery from Port of Borgo and would be on a archaeological hunt for this artifact. She would probably even have like an in with Kim.
Yeah.
You know, with these Palmerish numerals and like all of these like things from the Old Republic. That makes sense as well.
Young says, if I get to see Din in the year of our Lord 2025, I will be so hard.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, Young, I love you so much.
Right?
What I hate about that so
I
much.
miss you so much too.
What I
Am
hate
I
about
wrong?
that so
Are you gonna
much.
look at me and say I'm wrong? Grow up.
What I hate about that so much is that I'm trying to visualize it now.
Pass.
Go, Young, I miss you so much.
And Craig, you would be correct.
Spooky Kitty says, honestly, Princess Leia, couldn't she know about Atten? So these planets were hidden since the Old Republic. So I don't think anybody within contemporary times knows about it. Like even Palpatine that took over the Republic doesn't know about it.
So so Republic emissaries were supposed to know. I mean, technically, we don't know who knows what, but like the way this is displayed to us, it seems like this is forgotten knowledge. It seems like this planet has been operating for a very long time on its last orders. The amount of volts that they had was 1,138. 39. Sorry.
Which I'm going to use as a barometer for how many years.
I mean, it's just one more than George Lucas's first movie, TX 1138.
Yeah, but contextually and narratively, it's the best shot we have at dating this planet.
It is. They did specifically say in this episode hundreds of years, and not thousands of years, which I did think was interesting. But we'll see. Hopefully, all will be revealed.
It's gonna be an hour-long episode.
Yeah, exactly.
God.
KG asks, visualize what exactly? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, but visualizations aside, just don't let that distract you from the fact that Hector
Hector's
is
going to be running three Civics
three
with
Honda
spoon
Civics.
engines. And he just came into Harry's and picked up 3 T66 turbos.
with a Motec exhaust. Grow up.
Grow up.
I am devastated I won't be able to go feral over the art in the new comic. That damn panel already sent me into the goddamn stratosphere. Why is Young so like
The best?
She's amazing! Stop! I love her!
Listen. Greatness is not earned. Some of us are just born into it.
greatness is not earned, it is hardened. Young nasty man with the 3 Civics with the spoon engines, exactly.
Oh god. Yo.
Don't take this race. You know he's got about $100,000 in that hood.
You know I'm gonna see her when I go to Orlando for my panel. I'm so excited.
That's awesome.
All right,
Oh,
you go
I'm so
see her.
excited.
Report back to how hard she is for whatever the hell for Din. If Din shows up, you tell us how hard she got for that. Maybe this planet was created as the aftermath of a Sith Lord causing a star to supernova hundreds of years earlier. Nah.
Can I just real quick talk about how beautiful that planet was, though? When we get to see the Onyx Ender fly through the maelstrom that is the shell of a toxic gas giant,
Oh yeah, it
No,
was like
yeah.
this small little.
And then the satellite turns green, and it's like a peaceful planet. Oh, it's so beautiful. I loved it
No,
so much.
It was a good visualization.
So-
It was just
That is actually one reason why I would like to see Thrawn involved. So in the Thrawn books, there is a time where he uses the cloaking technology to hide some Star Destroyers because he has already planned for a conflict to take place at a certain location. And so he wants these Star Destroyers to just pop out of nowhere and just be like, what up, you know? I can absolutely see a world where Thrawn finds out about Adatin, doesn't care at all about the gold on the planet, just wants the technology to make an artificial nebula to hide things in.
Do you know what this reminds me of? It just occurred to me. Did you guys ever watch the movie Titan AE?
Yes,
You know how they find the Titan?
it's been a
Like-
long time since I've seen it.
I'm trying to remember because I feel like they had to travel through something.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I've
then
seen
they find
Remember the
Titan.
Titans.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The one thing that has lived with me throughout this whole my life from Titan AE is not the narrative, but it's my turn to fly. Follow me. You remember that song?
It's a great movie.
Remember?
Come on.
Is that one of those songs that are intrinsically linked with the project?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I know this is just like a side tangent, but y'all do have to give me your favorite song that's just in your brain, intrinsically tied with the project, because of how it was displayed or introduced to you.
Intrinsically linked.
I've got two.
Oh wait, well, actually, I think it's part of the show. Never mind. Is it part of the show?
What?
I mean,
Were you gonna say NSYNC and Deadpool?
No.
Because that worked. It's
No,
true.
that worked. I mean, that worked out. No, I was thinking of Has Been Hotel and the song Insane, but I think Insane is actually in the show, so never mind.
I mean,
No. But
It's not a
it could be
song.
in the show. Yeah, no, that's fine. Or
It's
it could
not a
be
song,
in
but
the
a
show. I
motif.
just mean,
which is the X-Men TAS. It's just ingrained. The whole the riff is just
okay. Yeah.
lives.
Young says, "Ain't no mountain high. Remember the Titans." Yes.
Sabotage in Star Trek. That was Sabotage, right? Was that Sabotage
Yeah.
in Star Trek? When he is Kirk
Star
is
Trek,
kid.
the third movie, the third of the new ones. That's a great call.
but since you asked the question, I'm just gonna use it. The Urge, Time to Fly, Turn to Fly, Titan AE.
Okay. The one that comes to mind to me is what I've done from Transformers. What I've done. Space Boy Initial D. Listen, Initial D for me, it's
It's not Spaceboy for me.
it's forever,
It's forever
young.
young.
That's not
It's-
my motor.
As soon as
Forever. Like the lights come up.
together forever. What else? What else?
Young said, "Ain't no mountain high with Remember the Titans." Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I gotta bring it back. Nickelback. Hero. Spider-Man.
Yep. Which is what made me first think of it.
Oh yes.
Also, Dashboard Confessional with Spider-Man 2. Hope that dangles on a string, like slow spinning redemption. Lothar says All-Star Shrek. Incorrect. All-Star is forever tied to Mystery Men and only Mystery Men.
Also, this one's a deep cut, but the Crying Game, Ace Ventura.
I've never seen Ace Ventura, so sorry.
I just know the movie The Crying Game. I can't think.
You know
Okay,
when
he
he
says,
finds out that
"But rat
Einhorn
race."
when he finds out that Einhorn's a man, and he goes into the shower, and then the crying game plays. It's the crying game.
Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Rush Hour 2. We had War with Rush Hour 1. Awesome. Through the Fire and Flames with Guitar Hero 3. It works. For Guitar Hero 3, it's for me it's FCP remix.
Cal says, "Don't stop till you get enough." Rush Hour 2.
Yeah.
Keep up.
I'm thinking of what's that song from by Phil Collins and Brother Bear? Tell everybody I'm on my way. Da, 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 da. In Brother Bear, like the little. Do you know that one?
I never saw Brother Bear.
What? It's so good.
I'm sorry.
Brother Bear. Go get on.
Too Proud to Beg. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Ready, Steady, Go. Swordfish. No one's seen Swordfish here?
I've seen Swordfish. It's just been a very long time. It's one of those hacking movies that, like, there's no actual hacking involved. Yeah.
FCP remix is so dope. Actually, Hero is not
Follow
a Nickelback
Troy
song. It's a solo song by Chad Kroger and the guy from Saliva. Listen.
Okay. The guy from Saliva? Really?
Chris? Jeez, Chris. Actually.
I'm gonna say Halcyon Orbital, Mortal Kombat. The song that plays when his brother. Yeah. It's also intrinsically tied to Hackers as well, because it's the beginning of the song. But I would probably put Voodoo People in for Hackers. It's the voodoo, it's the hoodoo people, like you don't dance in people. Prodigy. Where did you guys go wrong?
Michael Jackson's another part of me is forever tied to the to Captain EO. And yes, it is in Rush Hour 1, but it is the ending song on Captain EO. Sending out a major love.
I feel like I gotta give some.
Just another part of me.
I feel like I gotta give some musical references.
Black Betty and Kung Pao. That's fair.
So
that is, yeah.
This is Mortal Kombat to me. Have you not heard that? It's the ending. Can't play any more than that.
I would have never assumed. Oh, I got another one. Aerosmith. I don't want to miss a thing.
Armageddon.
And I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know to be acting from Armageddon. Yeah.
And this is
Great call outs. I could spend my life just to hear you breathing. Listen, I've listened to a lot of Aerosmith in my life. It's my mom's favorite band. I can't not.
Dream on. Okay, this is Hackers.
Okay, I actually do recognize this.
Right.
My goodness! You just made me think of one, but this is a deep cut, and none of y'all will think of you'll think of a different song actually. But there's a group called Handsome Boy Modeling School, and they have a song that was in Ocean's 11, and it's just tied to my head. But I'm sure most people have Fleur de Lis. for that.
Yo, I'm staying where we getting crazy love. My noisy neighbors
Yeah.
above me up in 13A. It's Jama heyday.
Boy Modeling School is awesome.
I done heard it 5 times before.
It's like a montage type of song.
Handsome Boy Modeling School. It sounds like a K-pop band.
Young nasty man, we gotta like hang out.
HBMS.
Or something, man. Like,
Chris is great.
yeah,
He's pretty awesome.
no, he's always been great, but like I haven't interacted enough and like.
I feel compelled to play this for you since Marianne knows about it. This is Titan AE.
I think I will watch that movie again.
It's my turn to climb.
Ooh, we had like the flat and forth there.
Try to be the best that I can.
I don't know if this movie is too old enough to. I don't know. I can't play it.
I need to watch that movie again. I thought it was fantastic.
This stream will not be monetized. It's not monetized actually. I don't monetize any of our streams. We rely on super chats.
Super chats.
Because I want you guys to be watching us and engaging with us and not be watching ads. So that's how we roll.
Lovely.
Any other songs? Super chats. I feel like we gotta play this one for Choco. And then while it's playing, I'll do the speech.
Speech.
With the Allspark gone, we cannot return life to our planet.
Oh.
But fate has yielded its own.
Oh
reward,
my god.
a new world to call home. We live among its people now, hiding in plain sight, watching over them, waiting, protecting. I've witnessed their capacity for courage. That's probably all I can get away with.
I remember now.
You know what? I actually, hot take is I actually did not love this movie, but Guardians of the Galaxy 3, creep.
Radiohead?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the live stream display still saying we're discussing Skeleton Crew? Because this is intrinsically Skeleton Crew. But
Word is
this is
coming for the
also a
stream.
pretty, it's also a pretty good game. Craig, keeping us on the on the tracks. Warner is coming for this stream. Good luck. Ain't got no money to give them.
I'm a spooky kid. America!
Fuck yeah!
That's
All right.
a solid jam.
Let's go on to Marianne's curated.
Yay.
Real fans would know. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Is it this one? Nope, not this one. It's this one.
Cool.
With there. I don't know why Marianne's not.
As long as I can see you guys, it's fine.
Let me check real quick.
By the way, Michelle says hi.
Oh, babe. All right.
Terrible.
We're playing a game like Jigsaw in the Saw franchise. There were tracks to begin with. Shut your face, Harith. This train goes wherever it needs to go, and I don't know why.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Let me try re-adding Marianne. There you go.
Hey.
Actually, you're the proctor, so there
Cool.
you go.
Cool. Rock on.
All right. Let me put on the thingy thing again. Gotta love the jazz lo-fi.
Good old lo-fi.
All right. We're gonna go with this is Real Fans Would Know Skeleton Crew Edition, Episode 7. So let's go with number 1.
Okay. Oh shoot. I wanna. Okay. Okay. Listen, I can't do his voice, so just bear with me on this. All right. After SM-33 takes back the Onyx Cinder for the children, he pilots the ship through the defensive grid. The kids are concerned they are not safe. SM-33 says, that was Captain Renan's brilliance, stealing one of the Mint's own ships so he could fly safely back through. Eventually, they make it past the barrier to At-Atten.
Me.
Yes. Hello,
Real
Element.
fans
Yes.
would know Smee didn't pilot the ship. Aye.
No, I think he was piloting the ship.
That
I
was
think it
Captain
went into.
Renan's brilliance. Oh, damn.
Okay, real fans would know. Real fans would know that that's not the order that happened in.
Real fans would know it wasn't the Mint's own ships. Damn.
You guys are like, you're close. Okay, you are correct. 1 point for the chat.
Shut up, chat. Real fans would know that they did not say that he didn't say that was Captain Renard's brilliance.
Bingo! It was genius.
Oh, that was my next one.
Whew, that was a complete shot in the dark.
Excellent work. This time I'm actually gonna keep score. Choco. 1. Moment. And chat. 1. Actually, no, hold on. K. 1. Oh my gosh, is that person okay? Excellent.
Number 2.
Okay. Numa tells Neil in the message that his little brother lost a tooth and he got a datary, but one thing he wished for was Neil to be home. This one, I think, okay.
Choco, you're muted.
Oh yeah, I am muted. Real fans would know that he didn't wish for Neil to be home.
Real
This
fans.
one's... Go ahead.
Real fans would know who wasn't his little brother.
Nope. I should have put this in quotations, so this will be on me, but
It's all good. We're always pedantic.
don't give them. I'm trying not to. Like, this is like super pedantic, I feel like.
Real fans would know that Numa didn't specify which one.
No, I mean,
I tried,
you're
I
right. She
tried.
didn't specify. You're right. She didn't specify which one, but no, that's not what I'm looking for.
Real fans would know that it wasn't a tooth. God damn it.
Real fans would know that it wasn't Neil.
No,
Dang it, because that was kind of what my first one was too.
I feel like this one was too. I actually feel really bad about this one. I think this was a little.
Real
too
fans would know
pedantic.
it wasn't wished. God damn it.
I feel like that's 3 for each of us.
Okay, so I might actually just give you all a point for this, but it's supposed to be he got a shiny new datery. That's why I wish I had put it in quotations.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you guys each a point for that because that was my fault. Because like the more I looked at it, I was like, oh, this is not good.
But you gotta play that. That's like by omission.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
Okay, number 3.
Kay, you gotta join one of these days to play Real Fans Would Know, apparently.
I agree. All right, so the parents are out in the woods putting together a communicator. The security droid finds them, and one by one they are stunned, starting with Numa, followed by Gary, Mary, and Wendell. Farrah is able to grab the communicator and escape the security droids. She deploys it.
Real fans would
Real
know.
Fans Would Know.
Oh, element.
Real fans would know that Gary was shot first.
Literally what I have right there.
You said starting with Numa.
Oh, no, you're incorrect. Sorry. No, you're incorrect.
Real Fans Would Know that Mary was shot before Gary.
That's it.
Gosh, it's the statement. It always comes down to the statement.
Is it bad that I know them as... Never mind, I'm not even gonna say it.
All right. Number 4.
Okay. Jod threatens the children with his lightsaber. He calls them weak, sheltered, spoiled children. He goes on to say that he enjoyed seeing their parents' faces so that he knew which ones to cut up.
Real fans would know. He didn't threaten them with the lightsaber when he was saying that. He ignited it after.
Okay, I have it in my brain, but it's... I need to...
I think you might be actually right. I'll give that to you.
Wait, what? What did you
But
say?
that's not what the actual answer is. But I think he's actually right. I don't think he actually turned on the lightsaber or ignited the lightsaber before that. So, but anyways, that's not actually what I was looking for. So, Choco, go ahead.
Real fans would know that he wasn't going to cut them up.
That is correct. He was going to carve them.
That's what I thought. I was like, he didn't say cut. Because if he said cut up, I would think about cut up, the clone.
Oh!
And he didn't. What the heck?
I don't know.
Sorry. Stop. Thane is behind my monitor, just
"Your cat?"
slapping things off of my desk. So, so
Makes
like,
sense.
I just had stuff flying at me just now, and now he's like reaching, trying to like grab stuff. I'm like, thanks.
Nasty Man says, I only know Jordan Peele and Numa.
Jordan Peele.
All right, number 5.
Brutus puts Jod in the airlock. He tries to talk his way out just as the Onyx Cinder arrives. Jod is released from the airlock by Brutus and explains the Onyx Cinder is the key to getting through the defensive grid.
Real fans would know.
Element.
Real fans would know that Brutus did not release Jod.
You got it. I actually can't remember her name. I just have in my answers not Brutus.
It was Jordan Peele.
It was Jordan Peele.
All right.
Chris gets a point.
C1. Whenever you're ready.
The kids are excited to finally be home, except for Wim. He says he still has to take the assessment and wishes he never touched the blue button on the armrest of the seat. The others try to comfort him.
Real
Choco.
fans would know the button is not on the armrest of the seat.
Real fans would
Okay.
know it wasn't a blue button.
Yes, it was green.
It was green.
You guys are doing great though. Kay and Chris get points. Okay.
C2.
Jod asks how many vaults are in the mint. The security
Real fans would
guard
know that it was not 1,138.
Yeah, when you talked about that, I was like, damn it! That's one of my statements! And I was hoping I would be able to trip you guys up, but no, you just had to remember that number.
Also, real fans would know he doesn't laugh maniacally, he laughs sensually. Just kidding.
Essentially.
He's
Okay. Okay.
C3.
I would say it was manically, but not maniacally, you know?
Okay.
like there was something he was supposed to take but didn't take. that's
Okay, valid.
C3.
Erotically, okay. Jod manages to get back on the Onyx Cinder after SM-33 knocks him. There, he uses the lightsaber to decapitate SM-33. He forces the children onto the floor. After trying to contact his ship, he moves to navigate the ship. Neil tries to explain, but Jod yells at him, "Your incessant, unending jabber, jabber, jabber. Honestly, it is unsufferable." Wim and the others try to defend Neil. Choco.
Real fans would know that it wasn't Neil.
Incorrect.
I thought it was Wim. No,
I thought it was Fern. Real fans would know it's your unending, incessant jabber, jabber, jabber.
Nope.
God damn it. I probably overcorrected that.
it's okay. Real fans would know. Stop it. Real fans would know that Jod was already on the Onyx. He never was off the Onyx Cinder.
I assume you meant knocks him out.
Yeah. When he punches him. Well,
Real fans
Oh!
would know that
element. Oh, this is throwing me off.
that the others didn't try to defend Neil.
I got it. Real fans would know that he decapitates Smee before.
Nope.
I think that was 3 for me, honestly.
Was it 3 for both of you? It's he doesn't say it.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't know. I can't remember how many guesses you gave.
It was 3. It was 3.
Okay. Jod says it is unbearable, not it is insufferable.
Jeez.
But
it sounds like something he would say. Insufferable.
Yeah. I was looking up synonyms. It was great.
That's more Jod than what he actually said. It's wild.
It's true. And the more I think about it, it was only Whim, because like I was thinking about how Fern was like staring him down. That's why I said and the others tried to defend Neil, because like Fern was like, you could tell that her intent was to try, which is why I said the others, but technically it was Whim, the only one who spoke up.
Thinking back on the scene, I think all of them try to speak, but Whim speaks loudest, and then he's like, "You were the worst."
Yep, exactly.
All right. C4.
I forgot. Okay. While the security droid talks to the parents about the communication device, there's a mural in the background that shows what appears to be a human raising their arms in the air.
I mean, yeah. Hold on. Real fans would know it's not while the security droid talks to the parents. Damn it.
Yeah, Kay, you got a point.
Honestly, I have no idea. Real fans would know that it wasn't a human.
Oh, oops.
Nope.
Real fans would know they weren't talking about the communication device.
Nope.
Real fans would know they weren't raising their arms in the air.
Nope. Kay,
Real
you're
fans
really
would
close.
know. Real fans would know it wasn't a human.
No,
That's
he
what I
already
said.
That. He already said that. Guess again.
No, he's wrong.
You repeated you.
Real fans would know it wasn't a mural. Because it wasn't. It's a relief.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, I don't think that's technically a mural. I couldn't think of the word though. I was like, I think I kept going to like Art Deco.
I think that's 3 for me.
All right, there's a final one. Real fans would know that it was more than a single person.
Yes.
Oh, man.
There were 2 kneeling on either side of them, and I think they also have their arms like kind of like raised in like reverence to.
I have no clue what they're
Well,
what they
this-
look like or what
but-
they're doing, but I was like, a human. There.
Well, see, the thing is, that statement is still true. And in the way we format real fans, we don't make a statement incorrect by omission.
Oh, you're right.
So when you say appears to be a human raising, there is a human raising their hands.
There is, but there's more.
Yeah. But that would be by omission, omitting their existence. I'm still giving you the point, but I'm just saying this.
No,
is
no,
like,
I get what you're saying, but like that's not what was depicted in. I don't know. I kind of see it as a gray area because we're looking at like an art depiction.
Yeah, you're right.
Versus like this person was in the room. Oh, there was 2 people in the room. I think that's different than.
But there's still a human raising their arms in the air.
It's true.
You see what I mean? Like the statement's still correct.
The statement is still correct, but it's like
Is that what the mural is depicting?
No, but it says
yes and
it
no.
shows what appears to be a human. It's not saying a mural depicting a human. Semantics. But you still get it right. All right, C5.
The parents' communication buoy reaches the Onyx Cinder. Jod plays the message, and the kids watch their parents give them instructions to go through the barrier. Wendell instructs the children to find a Republic emissary.
Real fans would know
Choco?
that it was Fern's mom that told him to find an emissary.
That is correct.
Was it?
It was Farah. And then Wendell.
Thank you. I was thinking her name was Kara this whole time, but I was like,
close.
I feel like that's not it though. I can't say it.
Yeah, she says find a Republic emissary. Then Wendell comes in and says that's an official who knows how to navigate, knows how to find At-Atin. Yeah, she just says find like a Republic emissary, and then Wendell comes in.
Yes, young nasty man. It should say a single human. That would make that incorrect. So who won?
Choco.
God damn it. You've won the battle, but not the war.
I mean, we got a whole nother episode, so if Mari would like to do it for the finale.
I would love to. I'll be better this time. I won't be.
You're great every time.
I won't do omissions, or I'll. Yeah. But yeah, I'll. Yes.
Jordan Peele clarified, and he said he misses them.
He's like it's an official. He says it's an official who knows the secret location of At-Atin, and then he's
bonus point. Was it actually Jad that played the message, or did he just say play the message and it was one of his minions?
No, I think he was the one who actually, because the two were behind. Because I'm pretty sure like there were two guarding the children, and then he was the one who was like finagling, or maybe SM. No, SM33 was not over there either.
Yeah, I all I remember from that part is Fern being like, "Okay, here's the plan. We're gonna go," and then
Attack!
Goes, Leroy Jenkins. And then,
Attack!
we need a plan of attack. We have a plan. Attack.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I actually have to. I know we usually and traditionally play Pictionary after the fact, but I actually have to cook. So
just put some steaks outside your house.
Listen, this guy's on fire. Which would cook the steaks, yes. But thank you to Marianne for providing the statements this week. We look forward to your finale statements next week. And look forward to discussing the finale with you guys. And kind of seeing what you guys thought of Quinlan Voss making an appearance on the show.
In your dreams.
Yes. And do you guys have any final thoughts for the good viewers?
I was just gonna say, actually, in his dreams are the Invisible Woman with her new skin.
True.
Play Marvel Rivals. I'm not gonna buy it. It's too much for me.
If I were to lend an equivalent statement to what Young said, if I see Domina Tag make an appearance in Skeleton Crew, I'll get so hard. Thank you to Spooky Kitty. Thank you to Young Nasty Man KG. Thank you to everybody Harith for tuning in and watching. God. Thanks to everybody on the TikTok side. If you guys still are not following Marianne or us on the YT side, be sure to do so, so that you guys can stay in touch with all of our content and where we move forward after the deadline. Yep. You know, follow us on Blue Sky as well.
Trying to make that transition to Instagram.
Yep. We gotta find other ways. Are you guys jumping over to Lemon 8? I'm not sure.
I'm on Lemon 8. I don't understand it. I haven't spent any time on it yet. I was set to like go to Instagram, and then Mark Zuckerberg was like, "We're not going to do fact checking anymore."
I know
because facts hurt people's feelings. I was like,
that threw me off.
Okay,
is Lemon 8 owned by TikTok?
Yeah, supposedly that like if you it connects to your TikTok account, so when you sign up to Lemon 8, that everything like transfers over, like
and anyone that has move from one to the other, you can find them if you're friends with them.
Yeah.
But what does that mean for the ban? Isn't TikTok just...
Because it's not owned by ByteDance. The whole ban has nothing to do with TikTok. It's just they're connected to ByteDance, and therefore it's bad. Why? Because a lot of them were heavily invested in Facebook. Not only that, but like the things that they're worried that TikTok will do are things that they have actually found Facebook doing. Like it has already happened with Facebook, and they're like, I don't know. It's a wild world we live in now.
I'll check out Lemonade, but you can be sure, at the very least, that we will always be on the YT side. So come over here if you're on TikTok. Come over here if you're on any other platform. Come over to YT. Subscribe to our channel. You'll always see us here.
Doing YouTube.
This will be the most. This will be.
This is home base.
My base platform going forward. Just because, had I built on this app what I built on TikTok, I would live a comfortable life.
Same.
I also thought about going to YouTube too. Like I posted a couple of shorts on YouTube, but I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just, well, for one, YouTube is just, they're never going to come after YouTube.
Yeah.
It's too powerful. It's too big. There's too many investors.
We can't go back to MySpace. We posted too much cringe when we were 14. We don't want to face that. Listen, MySpace taught so many young kids HTML.
Yes. They all taught them Wicket, embed Wicket.
Yes. Embrace the cringe. Listen, cringe. We are all cringe. That's the point. Damn, cringe is life, and if you can't embrace your cringe, who are you?
You stole the closing. No. Anyways, this is our hero platform, YT. You can find us on our socials down below, Blue Sky, Instagram for anything else, but this will be our main platform. So if you guys are still not subscribed to our channels, what are you doing? Subscribe. But that'll do it. On to the next one.
For light and for life.
We are all cringe.
And may the cringe forever mold your destiny.
I'm sorry, we are all hard. For Din.
And I'ma go hard.
God. Okay.
Good night.